1985, the Fumble Kings. Okay, so...
I feel like I watched many of these in the case of Dave Krieg.
Oh, we all did, man. All right, so we have two legends here. The first one is longtime Seahawks quarterback Dave Krieg, who played for the Seahawks between the years 1980 and 1991. This man racked up 26,000 yards, over 26,000 yards, threw for 195 touchdown passes, and he actually held the team record until Russell Wilson broke it in 2018. That's pretty astonishing, actually.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
He was the first player in Seahawks history to throw 5 touchdowns in a single game, which, by the way, I think that's very impressive considering that was not the passing era. Like, it's hard to describe now to, like,
right,
the younger generation what the NFL was, because it was like, basically like you run like 2 or 3 times and then you pass and then, well, it's time to punt.
Yeah.
Well, especially for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he retired in 1998 with 261 touchdowns, which was number 18 all-time on the NFL all-time passing list, which is, again, amazing. And then we have Warren Moon, which I know you have a soft spot for Warren Moon in your heart as far as...
I do. Ties to the Northwest, UW. Yep. You got ties to the CFL, being a Canadian myself.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that he was unbelievable at Houston. So I was super excited once he came to Seattle, and I think my mom had a huge crush on him too.
So he spent 6 years, after graduating UW, he spent 6 years at Edmonton with the Eskimos.
I think Eskimos is derogatory, but maybe. I don't know.
From 1978 to 1983, before heading over to the NFL to play with the Houston Oilers in 1984. And he spent about a decade with Houston, just racking up crazy amounts of stats.
Oh, yeah.
And
run and shoot offense.
Yeah. And then he went over to Minnesota. And then he joined the Seahawks in 1997 and 1998. And as great as these two guys were, and they were great, they also both shared one small problem.
Very small hands. Yeah. Joking, I don't know.
They couldn't hold on to the ball. These guys, they fumbled a lot.
A lot.
And Dave Krieg actually retired in 1998 as the NFL's all-time leader for fumbles with 153.
Yeah, but didn't Warren come and steal that from him?
Yep, he did. He did, as a Seahawk.
Because it just had to be right. Had to be a Seahawk first before you took the record from Krieg. Sports tragedies. We're really good at those.
Exactly. So yeah, he broke Dave Krieg's record with 161 fumbles to his name. And that record actually stood for nearly a decade until it was later broken by Brett Favre, or Brett Favre. Yeah. So Ethan, what do you think about those stats?
It's fitting that I'm surprised Brett Favre didn't finish his career at the Seahawks just to set the tone. It kills me too, because all 3 of those guys are guys I absolutely love the way they play football. Warren Moon maybe threw the most beautiful ball ever.
He really did.
Brett Favre was just a gunslinger and so fun to watch no matter where he was at. And and I really have a special spot in my heart for Dave Krieg too, just because where would Seattle be without him?
Yeah. I actually met Dave Krieg a few years ago. He's a super nice guy. And I just had to ask him. I was like, you know what? You always got that bad rap because your hands were so small. So I was like, Dave, it's an odd request, but can we hold up our hands together? I want to take a picture with your hand next to my hand and just see if it was normal size. And he thought that was pretty funny. So he's like, yeah, sure, I don't care. And when he held up his hand, it was just like a normal size hand. It wasn't like anything, freakishly small or anything like that. It was a normal-sized hand, but maybe that was the problem. I don't know.
The thing that's so crazy is that I think normal-sized hands, though, are small by NFL quarterback standards.
Right.
You look at, like, Russell Wilson's, his are gigantic, and just the way he can manipulate and fling a ball. But,
well, also now, quarterbacks are just tall and, taller, generally.
There's a lot of those guys in the 70s and 80s that played that you look at them, they look like insurance salesmen. They do not look like pro football players. And obviously, just you can see the evolution of pro athletics and what we do, Some of them are straight up like pudgy. Like, you're like, that guy played quarterback? Wow. Okay. All right, so there you have it. Dave Krieg and Warren Moon, the Seattle Fumble Kings.
Small hands. Indeed.